minutes and 36 seconds. Player ratings, business people. So let's start. Sorry, my guy Josh. Before that, you're right. We are staying up. So getting into the player ratings now. Assuming I can remember everybody who started. Let's go with Leno. I give Leno a 5 because you know what, a 5. I give a 6. I give a 6 because he's got a hand to play in the goal. I do think he saved us in the second half. As poor as he was, I can't sit here and lie. It could have been a 2-1 L. You know, he made a big save. Good save, poor finishing. Either way, he denied Barnes, and he made a big save from Peters. Ultimately, certain people are either going to focus on that or focus on his part to blame for Leno. His part in the goal. In fact, I'm going to put it down to a 5, people, because I do think his distribution, even before they scored, was a problem. So, I think I'll give you a point for the save. So I think it's a 6, but a very shaky game from Leno. Not going to sit here and cap. Chambers, give Chambers a 9. You know, I don't quite think it was a 10 out of 10 performance, but near enough was. You know, I think Chambers was good. When I watch the game again, I might look back at it, but I think Chambers, considering you barely play, considering you barely scratched the surface in terms of the lineup, starting lineup, you didn't look like somebody that ain't been playing and is not a regular. I think Chambers did what he needed to do. Now, his future is obviously going to be speculation because he's a jack of all trades, arguably a master of none at Arsenal. But Chambers, not that I believe there's a man of the match. I think Chambers was head and shoulders above everybody else. Chambers did his thing, people. So Chambers would be my man of the match. I'm gonna cut him. I'm probably overselling him a bit. Probably 8 is where I'm looking to go through. But I'm gonna give you a 9, car. Everything was set up for you personally to fail today. You didn't fail, and I don't think you put a foot wrong. You created more than certain man who started the game as well. So you done all right, man. You done all right in that regards. So Calum Chambers gets a 9. Centre halves now. If I go to David Luiz, folks. Luiz, I think he done all right. Maybe if I look at the goal conceded, maybe man could have done something in the build-up. There's something different, but we all know it's not his fault. I feel Luiz did all right today. Couple meaty passes, but I give him a 7. I think a 7. You know what, people? I'm being a bit generous. It's a 6. I think Marie gets a 5, a 6 as well. There's no way Leno can get higher than you. I think Marie dropped off a bit in the second half, looked a bit shaky in the second half. But if I'm looking at the whole squad, the defense is where I'm cool with. Now, I'm not going to lie. Kieran Tierney, I think he gets a 5, people, because I think Tierney wouldn't play bad, but he didn't play to his standard. Leno's a 5, but he gets a bonus point for saving us. I don't think Leno was better than him. So, I'm going with my gut, man. Leno, you're holding a 5. Tierney's holding a 5. The defense I'm quite cool with, really and truly. Xhaka, you started off well, but that mistake, bro. So 4. I don't think you ever quite got going after that. Partey, he was involved in the first. I think he had a very good first half. Second half, he dropped off. So I think it's a 6 for Partey. Odegaard, I think it's a 5. I didn't really see you today. You weren't out of the game, but you weren't necessarily in the game for me, Odegaard. And I did feel he has to keep dropping deep. And this is what we saw with Ozil. This is what we've seen with Smith Rowe. We need midfielders that can just hit them forward. So, and that wasn't there. But either way, I don't think there's nothing that Odegaard did of any relevance, people, in that regards. I mean, if you watch the game again, you can see why I gave them. And to be fair with you by all means disagree. Gio, that's where it's going to stay because that's what I believe. I don't really care beyond that, but that's where I believe it was at. And I think if you watch the game again, Chambers was probably our best player and David Luiz was not the poorest on that pitch. Control your emotions. But moving away from that, Saka was quite poor today as well. We got to keep it trill, man. We got to keep it trill. No way. Just about a 5, but you lot were underwhelming. You two were underwhelming. Saka should finish his dinner. You lot were underwhelming. You dropped off in the second half. I couldn't ask any more of you, so I'm going to give you getting an 8, but you're getting a bonus point for just getting it with me. End of the day, Aubameyang scored, so Aubameyang can have his goal, but I just feel I'll give him a 6 because I feel you've done all right, but it's still underwhelming. Willian, beyond the assist, you didn't do much, but you weren't the worst on the field, so I'll give you a 5. Pepe, just based on your minutes, you should have scored, but a 7, just on 7 for impact. Generally, 5, generally a 6. You know, Lacazette, just because I feel they added something, you know. Really, it's an NA for all of them, but I feel they added something. Who else came off the bench, people? Ceballos should have scored, but really, there's not enough time to really rate his thing. So really and truly, if I look back, again, Leno, you know, let's go with an 8. That's a bit of excitement. But an 8 for Chambers, I feel he's our man of the match. I feel I couldn't ask more from our centre-halves, although Marie Standards dropped. Tierney didn't quite get going, should have had a couple of assists. Xhaka, you can't get away from that mistake, and I feel he was very clueless. You know, Partey, bit worse in the second half, quality in the first. Odegaard, quite underwhelming. Saka needs to work on his finishing. Aubameyang, quite anonymous beyond the goal. Willian got an assist, but didn't do anything above that. So that's my player ratings there. We have it, people.